Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 11 of our Ancient Wisdom workshop. Today I will be doing two workshops, 11 and 12, to catch up. And I already tuned into something very interesting about today's, so I will be sharing that. I don't know what it means or where it's going to take us exactly, but I can tell you what came through so far. So today will be 11 and 12. It is August 7th, the day before Lionsgate officially is. Um, and also the full moon on the 9th. Um, I will be doing something for the full moon, but I haven't tuned into that fully yet. So day 11, right away I got some information about where we're going, but to begin, I'm going to go ahead and light my sage. Get some sage lit. I did light some Palo Santo to begin with. For my own energy, but now I am lighting some sage for day 11 clearing and the energy of the workshop, or the energy of the workshop, I should say. So let me just get this lit. Oh, sometimes sage is just so temperamental. There we go. It's getting going a bit. It's getting going a bit. This is a special sage, not one I usually burn. So we will let it be what it's going to be. But it's yummy. Yummy, yummy. Okay. So as I'm lighting the sage, I call in the energies from day 1 through day 10 of Around the World, Ancient Wisdom, Awakening. It's been quite an adventure. I've been going through a lot during it, so it kind of sucks, but honestly, it's okay. Some of it is realignment with who I was always supposed to be and where I was supposed to be. Um, Painful yet necessary. And then, just other things. So, and unfortunately with that, it would have already been done, but that's okay. We are where we are for a reason. So today I am going to do two because I feel like I need to do day 13 on the 8th. Okay. So I need to do day 13 on Lionsgate Day, right? Um, and I know Anywho, so let's just get going. So today I got the energy or the message of Mount Sinai. And I'm like, where the heck is Mount? I've never heard of Mount Sinai. I'm not a biblical person, as I said. Of course, I looked it up right when I heard about it. And there is, in the Bible, it does talk about Mount Sinai, and I think that is the mountain of Moses. There is some argument apparently about where it is, but when I look it up, it says it's in Egypt, and that is apparently where Moses got the download of the 10 Commandments from God. So, for whatever that's worth, that is where we are today on day 11, Mount Sinai. Now, 11 is a very powerful number. It's a timeline shift. It's many things. So, all the work that I've done has specific dates, times, frequencies. It's all there, 369s and ones. So, being that day 11 is Mount Sinai is not a coincidence, but nothing that I do really is. Okay, I'm lighting some moldavite now to help open up the heart space as I call in our energy for this healing today, this alignment of this workshop, and for clarity in all things that we need. And the message and the beings that came through from Mount Sinai, Sea of Gibraltar, feeds those, that area. So it's still very important. I feel like it's like a dividing line. So there's lots of pieces to this, and we don't want to just keep a limited mind for the totality of the connections of all things that I say. Saint Germain, Saint Genevieve, Sandalphon, Metatron, Saint Joseph, Zeus, and Poseidon came in for this one. And of course, the Akasha records. And the message I got is a rare breed indeed, a gem unseen, a rising of the truth beneath. No worry about what is, a letting go of what was, and a rising of things unseen. Okay, Mount Sinai. So we're going to begin today, just in case I'll have my drum out. I don't know that I will need it, but just in case, it will be right here. Let me find what I did with my thingy. I moved it. Like, where did I put my drum mallet? I moved it. Where did I put it? Oh, there I put it. Okay, I found it. I found it. So if I need my drum, it is right here, but we are just going to get going. So to begin, just put your feet on the floor, your arms facing up, your palms facing up in receptive mode. And just be present, closing our eyes, being present in this space and time. So for this, I will go ahead and share the screen so you have something to look at of the images that came up of Mount Sinai when I searched it up. Some people say where really was Mount Sinai, but it is in Egypt. So the real Mount Sinai, like the biblical location of where Moses got the download of the Ten Commandments, like I said. And so, there was something I saw that talked about it being a volcano, but I don't pretend to know anything. Oh, the Exodus route, Red Sea crossing, Mount Sinai. Oh, shnikes. I just saw that one. The Exodus route, the Red Sea crossing, Mount Sinai. So we're going to leave that up because how many times have I said this year is the Exodus of Egypt? Okay. I literally said that in our 2025 predictions, the Exodus of Egypt, and I just saw this one. I did not notice this one. Red Sea crossing, Mount Sinai. So it's all connected, right? All connected. The Exodus route in 2025 predictions, I said it was the Exodus of Egypt. I've done the Nile. We returned the crystal back. I freed the soul of Sekhmet and Horus again. I have to do my painting today. I definitely am hearing that very, very, very loudly. No excuses I'm hearing. There's been a lot of resistance on me, and I've been having to battle that with no energy left. So I was taking my breath a little bit. That was a little shocking to me because in my 2025 predictions, I literally say the Exodus of Egypt. Then I see this, Mount Sinai, Red Sea crossing. I'd never heard of Mount Sinai until today. I don't read the Bible. I never have. Everything I know about the return in God and Jesus is through the work that I've done. And then only when God tells me to look up certain places in the Bible have I. So let's just get started. So I've called in the creator of all that is and all the angels too to be with us in this time and space. I am hearing right away there's a lot more than you know going on. And they're saying how I'm feeling is justified, that I don't deserve the way that I'm treated. It's justified. That's what they're saying. The way I feel is justified. It's not that it's not, but they're asking me to still hold my heart open and to continue forward. Saint Genevieve is stepping forward. Saint Joseph, which was, I believe, Jesus's father. Truth of Moses. Now, I don't know if that's because it's something I heard before or this, but I'm hearing Truth of Moses. Yes, the Euphrates River. Now remember when I undid the Holy Grail and I cleared all of the totality of what happened to Jesus and Mary Magdalene, the Euphrates River came in. Now that's right by the Tigris. The Nile is just below that and all fed by the Mediterranean Sea, which is also fed by the Sea of Gibraltar, which is like the Strait of Gibraltar, whatever. The Strait of Gibraltar, which comes from, I believe, the Atlantic Ocean, something like that. I have to look at the map again, but it's all connected, okay? And it's all part of the starting with day 1, leading all the way to day 11. So these energies are coming in. So the image that I get in my mind's eye is that we are sitting in Mesopotamia, right between Euphrates and the Tigris River. And I want you to sense, see, feel, or know that we are sitting on the ground, literally just sitting on the ground right between Euphrates and the Tigris River. And there is this beautiful, like a pyramid, like if we're sitting at a fire, right? Like a campfire, but it's in the shape of a pyramid. It's pyramid energy, but it's also fire. So if you can just sense, see, feel, or imagine, witness just experience and intend that we are sitting at this pyramid fire. It's like a pyramid energy. There's also flames present, and it's like a fire pit. It's like we're sitting at a fire between the Euphrates and the Tigris River. I see the Sphinx and I see all the pyramids that I've activated lining into a space, including Giza. Remember, Giza activated and also carried the light, and the DNA of the gods returned there. I am seeking to get my drums, so I will. I'm not going to deny that. And a little bit of a rattle, so I will do that as well. Cleanse the energy. Calling in the energy of the north, the east, the south, and the west aligns back to the north with the power of the earth, wind, fire, and water, all combined and aligned and anchored back into the north, to the highest divine love, light, and support anchor. Clarity of things unseen. Mount Sinai, Tigris, Euphrates, the Nile. I literally said the Exodus of Egypt for 2025, so that's like blowing my mind a little bit. Who knew this was coming? And we are in 2025, right at Lionsgate. Lionsgate last year, I birthed the new earth. God brought us through the Nile portal, and I birthed the new earth. And now the earth is rising through it all. And now here we are 1 year later, after I channeled about the Exodus of Egypt for 2025 predictions, literally putting it into the energy of the Exodus of Egypt. Our three beings of light are coming in order to open our energy, our heart space, our chakras for this healing. In order to help us unground, unroot from the earth that is false or whatever we need personally, because we are both in different places. And in order to ground into the frequency of day 11 and prep for 12 and 13 as well. Oh, no voy a traer con todo aquí. Oh, yo voy a cantar a balaya. Oh, yo voy a canto a la traí. Oh, yo voy a cantar a balaya. Oh, yo balay, oh, oh, lo vaya. Oh, lo vaya, oh. This also makes sense to my Healing Light Movement video I did the other day, which was quite unexpected. We climbed the 13 steps to heaven and went into the eye of the sun. And the only 6 people were called to do that. And now I understand why. So we're just going to be present in this space. We're literally sitting between Euphrates and the Tigris River at a little pyramid fire on the earth, sitting on the earth. All the beings from my journey before, all the beings from Tatanka to all the angels and the gods and the beings of light that have accompanied me. All of them. Everyone that accompanied me on the journey of the new earth, the beings of light, the angels, the gods, the masters, all of them are stepping forward at this time and surrounding us. And also the lions are coming in and surrounding us completely. The lions, the heart of the lion. Oh, you are like oh, you are like oh, you are like oh, you are like The Galactic Council is also stepping forward, and so are the beings from the sky. So there is a mothership. Remember the mothership? I talked about it a lot. It's actually the docking station. It is up above us. And all these beings from Pleiades galaxy are also stepping forward. Oh, you are like Yanti. Oh, you are like Yantawalampaya. Oh, you are like Yantawalai. Oh, you are like Yantawantoaya. Hang on just a second. I'm feeling the nudge to do something here. I'm gonna move my microwave. Wow, no microphone, no microwave. I don't even own one. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. And we're gonna go back to this image because this image, I really like this image. It's exactly what's happening. Okay, and funny, I didn't find it until I started the workshop. Now I'm also surrounded by amethyst and howlite. Forgiveness. I forgive all those who trespass. I forgive all those who had the willingness to give away the light to the shadow and stop the return. I forgive all those that gave the power of the light away for reasons that don't matter. There really was no good reason, but I forgive all. I forgive all the way back to the beginning of time. So the energy of forgiveness. Oh, you are like Yantawali. And those who have all attacked me on my journey. Those who continue to bring the shadow into the light. Oh, you are like Yantalawantoi. And I forgive myself for not loving myself enough. And I forgive myself for not loving myself enough. Oh, you are like Yantalawantai. Oh, you are like Amtukumpalataya. Oh, you want tai like Kontoa. So we are opening up a portal. I see like this big huge circle energy portal opening from us to the sky, and I see the most beautiful pinks and reds and greens, but like a deep red, a deep orange color opening up all around it. Oh, you want la contoa. Oh, you want la wayotoyo. So I see the beings of light at my crown chakra, and they are opening it up more. Opening our other chakras above it as well in order to bring in the information necessary for this healing. So we're going to go deeper and deeper into a state of connection, And I feel it in my head. There's like something going on from the back to the right. A blockage being removed. And these beings of light for me look like aliens. They look Pleiadian-esque. Light beings, interstellar light beings is what they're calling them. And these ones are the ones working on me. I can't see yours. Oh, you are like Yantalo Untoa. I remember that time you're like, it's not all about you. Well, it kind of is about the return, right? We turn, but we all return back to that light. So it's all connected. So how is there separation there? It does matter, because when they took down Eve, Sekhmet, and Mary Magdalene, Adam, Horus, and Jesus, they separated all of mankind from that light. So it is about Eve, isn't it? They wanted Eve's power, didn't they? See, that's the thing, and that's what Saint did to me too, is they've always wanted Eve's power. And that's where religion was born. That's where the Holy Grail came from, is wanting the power of the feminine and then the masculine, of God. Wanting the power of the light is the biggest shadow component, and why we cannot give the light to the shadow. And those that kept rising through the light and trying to take my light for the shadow are the battle that I have been fighting since day one. Those are the fallen. That is what got Saint, and why she cut me off from my path in the end, and I had to do all of the ending pretty much by myself. All of the second half of undoing the Sistine Chapel was just me and my kids. It was all by myself. The first half of undoing the Sistine Chapel, I had to do that as well, and that was actually jarring. I didn't create that, but I surely undid it. So it is, after all, about the light of the one. But we're all connected to that. So it affects us all. It's truly about us all returning home to love, returning home to God, returning home to Sender, returning home to the Creator, which really began with Adam and Eve for mankind. I'm hearing return to Sender. Oh, you beginning to go backwards in time now. Oh, you and it's interesting this is coming up, because I'm going to be honest here. The other day I kept getting downloads of when I was trying to realign Saint and Amy and Gigi, and you kept like chiming in and trying to undermine what I was saying. And it's that energy, right? It didn't come through just Saint. It's this shadow energy of always wanting the power of others, the power of the light. It's the same thing, and that was hitting my stomach, but I get it. I get it why now. Yes, that's what created the fallen. They wanted God's power. That's what created religion. They wanted God's power. They wanted the power of mankind, which belonged to Christ's consciousness. All connected to the light, all connected to the earth, all connected to the light, all connected. And then throughout the journey, right, I was made to feel less than, like when I was undoing the Holy Grail, and I was getting downloads, and my baby returned, and I was processing what happened to Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and it was clearing through me, and Amy kept trying to take that away. She kept trying to make it like, well, isn't that mine? I'm like, no, how could it? No, it didn't make sense. It's clear to me now. And then there were a couple other parts where it was like, people were like, well, what about me? Why is it always about you? I've had this happen many times. Oh, it seems like all it is about you. The return is about me and the DM, God, and then all of mankind returning home. So is it really about me? know I sacrificed everything for all of you. Everything for all of mankind. It wasn't just for myself. That's why I did it. For the love I had of God, the light, my DM, and mankind, my family. And all anybody ever threw at me was, oh, it's always just about you. I want your power, envy, jealousy, false concepts of who I even am. Without even taking the time to get to know me, they make assumptions and think they know everything. And they don't. Pure forgiveness applied. Throughout history, that has been the story. Taking the light from Adam and Eve. Undoing Sekhmet and Horus, which was a return of Adam and Eve. And Jesus and Mary Magdalene, the same. And each layer, further darkness corrupted, further anchoring into a false timeline, corruptedness of the heart line, all connectedness detached from light. That's why it's so important to understand that. That's what the shadow wants, is to leave you blind and detached from the light. But we are all connected, and it's hurtful. Pure forgiveness applied. Pure forgiveness applied. Pure forgiveness applied. Pure forgiveness applied. Mount Saini. Return to the masculine and feminine light, and can only be accessed through that, through the heart and the light, the one, the sun, the moon, the feminine and masculine, Adam and Eve. And anybody carrying that ability to give their power to the light can't rise for that reason, because we can't do that anymore. It is a great reset of mankind. Everybody takes themselves out of what happened, but they all played a part in some way, shape, or form, in some form of time. Mesopotamia. The Sea of Gibraltar is important. It comes in quite often. But it's like the Strait of Gibraltar. It's a dividing line between Africa and Europe. And then earlier I kept hearing, where the bad folks go when they die, they don't go to heaven where the angels fly. They go to a lake of fire and fry. Sing 'em again till the 4th of July. And this is when we cut ties to Britain, right? And the Sea of Gibraltar, or the Strait of Gibraltar, is a connecting of the sea to the Mediterranean, I believe. But it's the dividing line between Africa and Europe. So it all kind of connects, doesn't it? Then I also kept hearing the Sea of Fire. So I'm going to take a moment. As I was talking about all the things that happened to me, my solar plexus started hurting. And that is where, my solar plexus has been blown up and beat up and destroyed and attacked more times than I can count on this journey. And it's no coincidence to why my stomach looks the way that it does. And it really took a toll on me. So my sacrifice has been quite large. And all I wanted was to be seen and loved. And I never got that to this day. So I need to sit a moment, and we're going to do a little bit of the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm going to drop in the moon and the sun from the heavens above through our upper chakras down through our crown, our third eye, our throat, our heart, and into the solar plexus, down through the sacral and the root and into the earth in Mesopotamia. Between the Euphrates River and the Tigris River, we are anchoring in now. Remember, they were doing work to help unanchor, and now we are grounding into this area. And I want to tune in to the crown, the throat, the heart, and the third eye, but all chakras included. I'm just heightened in those areas. Take a deep breath and take your focus to your stomach, to your solar plexus. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, for I know not the clarity and the totality of what was done. Please know that I love you, and it's time to return to where we came from. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you, and I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you, and I love you. I'm sorry. I knew not the trespasses that were done. I'm sorry. Actually, those are excuses, aren't there? A reframe must be done. If we own the truth, we knew what we did and we knew why we did it. Power, corruptedness, treason, true treason. The need to take the power of the light and use it for our own benefits. Forgetting we are all connected. Losing the line to love unconditional. Losing our all connectedness. We bow down now in a place of forgiveness to say, I am truly sorry for the choices that have been made through my forgetting love, for my forgetting what truly was important and letting other things cloud what I could not rise above. I'm sorry for making the choices to forget how strong I am and how far I truly could overcome. I'm sorry for giving my light to the shadow and forgetting all about all connected love. I truly am sorry, humbly so. Please forgive us. I love you and I thank you. And that is the Ho'oponopono prayer of mankind. There is still a bit of a power control play. Too much in between focus. It either is or it isn't. Excuses all along the way. Mt Saini is coming into the energy. When I say Mt Saini, I am going to a volcano. It is in Egypt. There was movement here. So I'm going to start pulling back through history, pulling the timeline backwards through history. Like a rope. And I'm beginning to pull backwards through history. And I tune into a time where there was a bunch of people that looked like they were from this area, but they were tied to this chain. They were all tied to this chain, slaves, enslaved, and they were made to do the work. They were like worker bees, forced to do work, forced to suffer. And I believe this ties way back into the beginning of my journey, where I processed what a death, past life, and I saw myself as a man and on this rope. And I don't know the relevance. It was very quick. I'm pretty sure it was me, but I'm not even sure on that anymore. But I saw myself on, and it was back when Pamela was around me. And I saw myself on this line. And I died. We died of starvation, of sun exposure, like without water, heat. And nobody cared. We turned to bones on that rope. So again, power, corruption. Sea of corruption. Sea of corruption. So when I was battling with my DM before the undoing the Holy Grail and all that, and God said I was battling the deep blue sea, that's when I processed that. That's biblical, apparently. Part of the return prophecies, the deep blue sea was representative of El Diablo. And I remember Amy even telling me, oh my God, there's a Bible version that talks about waking up David. And David was my DM's name, and we were shocked. I was so shocked. It's like waking him up and battling the deep blue sea to do it, because they stole his soul with the Holy Grail and the false resurrection, which is why the Pope died on that day. But you see, when the Pope would take office, they would do rituals, and he would become that. It didn't matter what name he carried, he would become part of that, the fallen, going back to the original, which was why in my predictions it was death of Pope John Paul II, even though that was not the Pope we had. This is making sense now. The sea of corruption. Lies and deception. They took out gods and beings of light. Sekhmet and Horus is no exception. Adam and Eve, Sekhmet and Horus, and Jesus and Mary Magdalene. That is the order they took us down. And the order I undid it was Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Horus, back to Adam and Eve. So I'm going to pull farther down the line of time. Mesopotamia. Sea of Gibraltar, the dividing line. Moses. Now when I think about the apostles, some became a fallen. So how many apostles did they say there were? 12? There was 10. 10 true apostles. There is 10 now. Should have been 10, actually. John the Apostle killed Jesus through the fallen. Thou shalt not kill. The 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not judge. I'm going to start over. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not judge. Thou shalt not think they are greater than anyone. Thou shalt not focus on greed, but only on love. The true commandments. There was some altering to the commandments. I keep hearing thou shalt not commit adultery. There is some truth to that. Yet how many people do you know have multiple wives and concubines? How many people do you know that use young women and children to feed this fury? Stay pure to the one of the soul, and that is where you become whole. Thou shalt not take from anyone, for all will be given from the light of the heart. There is plenty for everyone. Thou shalt not poison the earth, but leave her in balance and gratitude. For what they take they shall return to her. The truth of the 10 Commandments. The reason they came about is because people were already hurting the light. And it was time in an attempt to make things right. So in truth, they were slightly different. And the people who put them in the Bible changed them to suit them. It was a warning. It was a warning to them. It was a warning to them of the bloodshed that they were shedding, of the treason they were committing, of the lies they were telling, of the division they were creating. It was a warning, written in stone. It was a warning of the truth of our heart and home, being told to return the land to where it belonged, which was no man but every man at the same time. It really belonged to Adam and Eve, Sekhmet and Horus, and Jesus and Mary Magdalene alike, but it was ripped from the seams. Mount Saini. Where two become one. It was a warning from God that what was happening, what was harming everyone. All connectedness. It was an attempt to return to all connectedness, but people actually mocked Moses and stole for power, control, and greed. And bloodshed. So now down Mount Saini, I'm getting an image repeatedly of like a fountain of water beginning to pour out the top of it. But it's not quite clear if it's red or blue, if it's lava or water. is not clear. It's both. Oh, my throat went wonky. Give me a second. Like the water pouring through the earth and out the top of Mount Sinai. Truth be told, purging. A purging of what was done, the releasing of the motions. For God was giving a warning, and he was telling this. He was speaking of this. But they changed and manipulated. In the land of the forgotten son. You see, Sekhmet had bloodshed into the Nile. Her head was cut off. And Horus was massacred. And they took the power of the sun and the moon at Stonehenge, which is in Europe. There are reasons we cut ties to that land and divided and put a warning for mankind. Except they refused to hear the warnings and just used it for their own gain. When God places a warning on the hands and the heart of man and they do not heed the warning, it doesn't go well as planned. Where Mount Sinai meets the Sea of Gibraltar, because you see it's a dividing line. Do not do things for power, do them for love. Do not do things for greed, do them for love and all connectedness. Abundance comes to provide all what they need and their heart's desires. So I see it written on a stone, like as if he wrote it on a stone. Like it came down and it was carved on a stone, and that stone was broken. It was shattered. The 10 Commandments was shattered. And I see the carnage and wreckage of power and the manipulation of the sun and the moon. It was a warning, and they didn't heed the warning, and they did it anyways. They took the power. And then eventually we broke land from Europe to Africa. We decided to divide them, to not connect to them anymore. It was a division of man, division of land, what was done. Undoing the balance of the earth through the moon and the sun. Stonehenge is where that was done, which is in Europe. And then I hear that song, where the bad folks go when they die. They don't go to heaven where the angels fly. They go to a lake of fire and fry. See him again till the 4th of July. And then when I said that again, I saw the water coming out of Mount Sinai. It's like this gentle river, but yet powerful. It starts corroding. It's like this, I can't tell if it's a warning or what exactly is happening, but I feel like the water from the Mediterranean Sea, the water from that area is coming in through the earth and up through Mount Sinai. And it's like this, it's almost like if I'm crying a tear, like God's crying a tear. He's purging. We're purging what was done, purging the land, purging the emotions, purging the past to leave it behind at last. And then it's like I take a match and I light it and I throw it down into Mount Sinai. And all of a sudden, this mass explosion just goes boom! And so much red fury blasts and bursts all over that area. So going backwards in time, there was a warning to not do things for power, a warning to not do things outside of unconditional love, a warning to be soul aligned only, a warning to not use God's light, to not take the power of the sun and the moon. The original 10 Commandments was written in stone, and it was shattered into pieces. I see it on the ground, broken into pieces, and Stonehenge has everything to do with that. Because when I see that, I see Stonehenge. And then I see there's like this false Stonehenge. So there's like this other Stonehenge somewhere. And it was the one that when my DM was getting attacked, somebody tried to blow it up, right? They like put fireworks on it or something. It was in, gosh, where was it? And what it is supposed to be like commandments written on it. It's all like carved in and etched in the stone there. And it's kind of like a little weird Stonehenge thing, but it's not Stonehenge itself. Where is this, Glastonbury or something like that? I don't know. Glastonbury, I don't know where it is, but I remember this when my DM David was still here and he was being attacked and all this stuff was happening. Somebody literally put firecrackers on it or tried to blow it up. And there is writing on these stones, and this is all relevant. So it's almost as if since I like put a match down Mount Sinai, it's drawing out energy. It's sucking energy through it. It's drying out the Strait of Gibraltar. It's like sucking energy out. Just like is drying it out. I don't know how else to say that. It's like drawing all that energy out. First came water, then came fury, an eruption. Like one we've never seen in my mind's eye through Mount Sinai. And when two become one, didn't I say that? And the past is undone. The sun and the moon are aligning again over this area to bring balance and healing to the land. So now we're starting to come forward. The sun and the moon are aligning over this area. It's connecting to Stonehenge, and whatever that one place is with those stones, it has writing on it, and it's supposed to be like this. Gosh, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I see it. And these people tried to blow it up a few years ago when my DM was, when we were in the midst of the battle. Glastonbury or something like that. Georgia, maybe? I'm not sure where it is. I keep seeing a G name. And it's like a mini Stonehenge or a replica or something, and it has writing all over the stones, and they think it's like commandments. All connected. So as we're moving this forward, I see the Nile again turning to blood. But the lava from Mount Sinai like leaking into the Nile. And this may not make sense as far as geographical location, but it's representative of all things undone. Purging the past and undoing what it was at last. And when two become one, it's like the Strait of Gibraltar just dries up. Mount Sinai sucks the water out of that area, including the Nile. And Gatlinburg maybe, and it's like connecting to Stonehenge and that other Stonehenge thing, like maybe in Gatlinburg. I don't know where these stones are, and there's writing on it, and people compare it like to the commandments. I've heard that said in my head, like I hear somebody saying that there's like writing on it they can't quite place, and it means something, it has meaning, it's like directions, it's like, and this all is tying into one. And then I also see the 10 commandments on stone and it being broken, and so this is a big deal. And from Mount Sinai, it's like a connected energy line to Stonehenge and to this other false, it's not, I don't know what this area is necessarily. Maybe a replica of Stonehenge. Okay, so there was important information like the knowledge of God, the knowledge of God, the knowledge of God, the knowledge of God. And it was used against mankind. It was used against the sun and the moon to change and realign earth and mankind too. Why am I hearing Gatlinburg? I don't know. I'm trying to piece everything I'm hearing together. Then I see waves of blue, and then waves of like red, and then waves of like dryness. But I feel like Sinai is sucking energy. That's like sucking, it's like drawing all this mass energy, and then it's like boom and bursts it out. But it's drawing up the water. That's the, it's like, remember how it had like this water running? It's like drawing through the water. And this is what's being recorded in the new map and undone. The sun and the moon is aligning again to that area in Stonehenge. And the word of God is returning. The word of God is returning. It's all connectedness, the lay of the land. And I talked about this in the academy. If you cannot operate through the light of the one, the sun and the moon, Adam and Eve, which is Sekhmet and Horus and Jesus and Mary Magdalene too, if you cannot operate with them at the center, with them at the beginning and the start of everything and the end of everything, and then all connectedness and for the greater good of all and for unconditional love and aligning to that power and use of that power and honoring it through God, then you don't belong here. Then you don't belong here. Stonehenge had important information written on it, kind of like the 10 Commandments. The information of God and of light, the power of the sun and the moon. How we are all one. It was an important site for rituals and magic and power and connection and alignment and downloads. And Moses gave this warning. Moses gave this warning, and it was mocked, it was shattered, it was broken, it was destroyed. And there is remnants, there is a replica, somebody else created like this, but people don't tell you the truth of what it is, like usual. So I see water drying up, and I see mass what's the word? Like when Mount Saini erupts and it blasts out, it's just fury. And this reminds me, oh my gosh, this goes back to my other painting of the volcano bursting, and it has words on it like sorrow and things, and it blows. Oh, I'm getting so many chills. Yes. So it has the words grief, anger, deep sorrow, make way for journeys past, a day of reckoning at last, and the return from there of Christ consciousness. And it's a volcano, and there's fire. There's fire in that bowl. Oh my gosh. It's all tying in. I keep going back to that painting these last few days. Day 11, clearing of Mount Sinai and what was done. And more clearing of Stonehenge, which I channeled about prior. I had no idea where that was going to come in. Here it is. And it connects to the warning Moses gave. God always told me there were supposed to be 10 apostles, but they didn't rise. And instead, I was attacked again by at least one of them and judged by many. It's all about the power of the light. Instead of love, it was greed. Instead of love, jealousy. Instead of love, envy. Instead of love, they wanted that path. Instead of coming into their own of all connectedness. Great fury. So on that volcano it says grief, anger, and deep sorrow, and it's bursting. And there's a little pot of fire next to it with Egyptian. Okay, I'm gonna get this down and bring it forth and show it on camera, even though I didn't want to. So just allow your space to come aware, yourself to become aware of your space and time. As I grab this painting that I did a while ago through one of the workshops. February of 25. It was this painting. So let me turn my camera on. Let me fix. So remember I said I threw a match in it with fire. I threw fire into the volcano and then it erupted. But I see the energy through that volcano of these words: grief, great sorrow, anger. And when it bursts, it's like fury. And Red Sea crossing. So again, the lake of fire I keep hearing. Red Sea crossing, the lake of fire. I'm not even sure. I'm processing this because I didn't make this up. I'm freaking processing this. And I did this painting back in February of 25. And here we are tying it into 2 of these workshops so far. And then, of course, we're seeing the Exodus route, Red Sea crossing, Mount Sinai. The Exodus route. And I just did that and blew up Mount Sinai. Soaking up the water. It's like so much energy. It's drawing up the water, and like it just like it's like fury bursting out of Mount Sinai, and it has to do with Stonehenge and moving of the sun and the moon and cutting again further Christ consciousness off. Yeah, it's and Red Sea, Red Dragon, Red Sea, all connectedness, Deep Blue Sea. Like I don't know how many. It's so right in our face. I just have to process this one. So we are going to end this one here. I want you to just kind of come back into your knowing, into your space. And I will be doing day 12 later tonight so that I can do day 13 tomorrow on day 8 on Lionsgate. And then just have so much coming. So today I'm going to work on my other 2 paintings because I feel like I need to. I just keep hearing that. And keep in mind 2025 predictions that I did around December of 24 talked about the Exodus of Egypt. Today we went to Mount Saini. The Sphinx is in this picture for a reason. Okay. I undid the Holy Grail at the Euphrates, processed totality of Jesus's death and what happened, and the false resurrection, which is the day that the Pope died on, which was the false resurrection. The true resurrection occurred on Christmas when I brought back his soul. And in that I was battling my own DM and trying to align again to be whole. So that is who I am. It's like so in my face right now, and I need to just process this out. So I will see you again later for day 12. Take it easy, listen to your body, try to reconnect, try to process this out yourself. The beings did stuff in the crown, solar plexus, within our energy. This is part of the map going forward for New Earth, and it has everything to do with the exodus of Egypt. So, until later today, thank you for joining me. We are almost complete with this part of the journey. I'll see you later.